What's up, guys? So right now we're gonna actually install on our Miata a Racing Beats cold air intake. Now, it's not what you would usually think of as a cold air intake because it literally just has this metal piece. This is the stock lid, and it comes with a Canon filter. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the mass air housing off of the stock hat, and we're gonna pull out the air temp sensor right there, install them in this, bolt them onto the car. It's pretty easy. Let's do it. Okay, so first thing, guys, we take out the air temperature sensor out of the stock box, and it should fit right into the Racing Beats one. Literally just gonna shove it into the hole. There, that part's done. Now we're gonna remove the mass air from the stock lid, and those are two 10mm bolts. We'll pull those out right now. If you take the stock air box out, guys, your next step is to go ahead and take the mounting points for it out. It's more 10mm, just 3 of them, 1, 2, and then a nut right there for 3. So that piece comes out, and we replace it with a piece from Racing Beat. The next part, guys, we have to take off this plastic cover. It's another 10mm down here. Now, the reason we take this off is basically because it's in the way. So you're going to have these relays here still. We put our bolt aside. We're going to pop these off. Because we're not getting rid of these, they just get moved a little bit. So we'll grab the nuts and bolts out so we don't lose them. Set that bracket aside. Now, this is the bracket from Racing Beat. It's going to sit down in your 2 original holes right there, and these guys actually get bolted down here onto it so that they're out of your way. So we're going to go ahead and bolt them back on. Next step, guys, we're going to put that mass air housing onto the metal tube that we have here from Racing Beat. Now you want to make sure these are aligned, and it comes with 2 spacers. Those spacers are going to go on this end right here, like that. So we're going to go ahead and put our bracket on, which goes like this. So we're going to use 2 short bolts, and the 2 short ones supplied by Racing Beat. We'll hold it on there in place, and we'll just get them at least one loosely in here. There we go. Because what we're going to do is we have to put the spacers in to attach it to the mass air housing. Guys, before you put the spacers in there, you want to make sure that you have it lined up. You really have to put a little lube on that and really force that mass air in there to get it all the way. But since we just got it in, we can go ahead and start putting the spacers on. And in this one, you reuse the long bolts. Whoop. And this one, you reuse the long bolts from the factory part. There we go, got one on. You should be able to slide the other one out on this side. There we go. So now those are on, we can actually give them a little tighten up. So now our mass air and the cold air part is actually attached together. We already have the air temp sensor in there. Now this piece will mount just like that, but we have to remount our relays to the outside right here. So we'll do that right now. So you're going to reuse your original bolts, guys. So shove that bolt in, put the nut on the back side, tighten her down. Okay, same thing for the next one. And we'll get a socket wrench to hold the back, and then we'll tighten them up. Part, guys, we have this little bracket that has the large hole and the little hole. Little hole goes on the bottom with one of their supplied bolts. The big hole is going to go onto the strut tower, just like that, and help hold it in place. So we're going to put this one on loosely so that we can find out exactly where it's gonna go. We're gonna go ahead, now that we have this loosely on, and we're gonna slide it over the top of the bolt there, and then use the supplied nut they give you to secure it down. Now again, we're not gonna get it all the way super duper tight, because we still have to mount the actual bracket itself down into the car right there. So we're gonna go ahead and mount that next. Supplied 10 millimeters, we're gonna go ahead and put these ones on. Now these ones, we're gonna go ahead and put in tight after I get them started, because then we can go around and tighten everything else. We'll use our 10 millimeter on the bottom here. Make sure this one's tightened up. There we got that one nice and tight. Now we can go ahead and start putting on the hose back on, and then we can tighten that one up. So we know that's tight. These are bolted together, so that's not going anywhere. And then we can just put on our filter on this side. There we go. And then we'll tighten it up as well. All right, now after that's tight, we really only have one more thing to tighten, and that is this nut right down here. That helps to just give it a little less wiggle room. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten that down, and then we'll be done. Using that 12 millimeter, we're gonna tighten that nut that's on the top of our strut tower. There we go, got that one nice and tight. So now this isn't gonna move. You see, it's nice and solid. We got our sensors plugged in, mass air and the air intake temp. So we're good to crank it up.
Let's see it.
Now, we do only have it running on a just the header from Racing Beat right now, no other exhaust, so it will be kind of loud. And turn it on.
Here you go.
All right, let's crank her up. That is your installation of the Racing Beats cold air intake. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.